Hello and welcome back folks. Today we're going to go through the features of the module 3551 as used in the LF-20W. We'll go through the initial setting up of the watch, setting up the multi-time cities and operating the alarm, chronograph and timer functions. I'll also leave timestamps in the description so that you can skip to the sections that you're interested in. For reference, I will label the 4 buttons as A, B, C and D. And we'll start each section from the home screen, which you can get to by pressing button C until you hear the highest pitched tone. We'll begin by setting up the watch with the correct time and date, home city and backlight illumination duration. It's currently 3 o'clock on the 18th of June at the time of recording, so this is what we will set the watch to. To adjust, press and hold down button A. The seconds digits are the first to be adjusted. Pressing button D will set the seconds to 0. Note that if you set the seconds back to 0 after it indicates 30 seconds, then the minutes will also increase by 1. I'm going to leave the seconds as they are and move along to the next sequence, which is setting up the daylight saving time. You do this by pressing button C. It's a little weird that you don't adjust the minutes next, but that's the sequence that Casio has chosen. Currently daylight saving time is being observed, so I'm going to leave it set to on. If you want to turn daylight saving time off, press button D. Press button C again to set up your home city. You use button B to scroll west through the list of cities and D to scroll east. My home city is going to be London. Press C now to adjust the hour. Button B decreases the time by 1 hour and button D increases the time by 1 hour. To adjust the minutes, press the C button. This can be increased or decreased by using the buttons on the right hand side. Next, press C to adjust for 12-hour or 24-hour format. The PM indicator will only appear in the 12-hour format, but I like to have mine set in the 24-hour format, and you can do that by pressing button D. Press C again to adjust for the year. Use the buttons on the right hand side to go up and down a year. To adjust for the date, press button C. The date is only displayed in the American format of month followed by day. Press C for the final setting, which is for the backlight illumination duration. You can choose to have it stay on for either 1 second or 3 seconds. Then press button A to exit the settings. We'll now look at how to use the world time function. The watch can show the current time in 48 different pre-programmed cities, but you may have to update the daylight saving time setting yourself. Press button C to enter the world time. This display shows the city, which in this case is Delhi, and this panel shows the time in that city. The analog display continues to show the time in your home city. Now suppose you want to know the current time in Tokyo, Japan. Use the buttons B and D to scroll west and east. The time shown here is too fast by 1 hour, as the daylight saving time is on. The DST is indicated by a small bar at the bottom, which you can barely see. As Japan doesn't observe DST, you can turn it off by pressing button A. And now showing the correct time for Japan. Set the watch back to the home screen and we'll look at the multi-time function next. The multi-time function allows you to have quick access to 4 of the 48 cities from the world time function. You can scroll through those 4 cities by pressing button D. T1 is always going to be your home city, which you can't change, but you can change the city stored in T2 to T4. To give an example of how to change a city, I'm going to change the city stored in T3 from Singapore to Bangkok. To do so, hold down button A for more than 2 seconds and the city code should start flashing. Then use buttons B and D to move to the city. Then press button C to set the DST for that city. You can turn the daylight saving time on or off with button D. As Bangkok doesn't use DST, I'll leave it set to off. Press button A again to exit. You can now see that the city stored in T3 has been changed from Singapore to Bangkok. We'll go through how to set the alarm now. This watch comes with 5 alarms, which can be set to run daily or for one time only. Before I show you how to set the alarm, you should note that the time that you're setting the alarm for is for your home time only. So for example, if you were currently visiting Bangkok and you want to set the alarm for 8 in the morning, the alarm will go off at 8 London time. To fix this, you need to make the country that you're in your home time. You do this by holding down A and B until you hear the beep. You access the alarm by pressing button C 2 times from the home screen. The first function is for the hourly signal, which can be turned on or off with button A. I'm going to leave it set to off. Button D allows you to choose one of the 5 alarms that you can set. For this demonstration, I'll show how to set alarm 1. Set the hour by pressing button A and using buttons B and D to go up and down 1 hour. Press button C to set the minutes. Pressing button C again allows you to choose if the alarm will run daily or for one time only. I'm choosing one time only with button D. Press button A to exit. The countdown timer can be accessed by pressing button C 3 times from the home menu. It can count down a range of values from 24 hours to 1 second. Set the timer by pressing button A and using buttons B and D to set the hours. Press button C to adjust the minutes. Press button C again to adjust the seconds. For the purpose of this demonstration, we'll set the timer for 5 seconds. Press button A to exit the setting. And activate the timer with button D. The stopwatch is accessed by pressing button C 4 times from the home screen. Button D is used to both start and stop the stopwatch. Reset it back to 0 with button A. You can also use the split time feature to record first and second place. Start the stopwatch with button D. Press button A to show first place. Then press the stop button to record second place. Pressing button A again shows the second place time. Hope that you found this run through of the features of the Casio LF-20W useful, folks. Leave your comments below if you have any, and I'll see you next time.